Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I have a new prototype from CIVIVI. They want to get all of our opinions on it to let them know what do we think about it. Do we like the upgrades? And they would be upgrades in my eyes to the CIVIVI COGENT. If you all saw my video on the COGENT, well, there it is. Would you look at it? Just look at it and wait till you see this new one. We're going to take it apart. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside, show you the new features, and that's all going to start right now. First up on the new COGENT is, well, obviously the Nebula Fat Carbon. Oh, would you look at it? Would you just Google it, goggle it, oogle it, ogle it? I don't even know what word I'm looking for. Would you just observe it? Just eyeball it? I mean, look at that. That fat carbon is just so nice. Depending on which way you look at it, you're going to get different shades and different variations of the colors. And then right here along the side, you can see on the profile view all of the different layers of that fat carbon. So very, very nice. And of course, you do have a bunch of jimping just like on the original version. It has beautiful, perfect jimping on the flipper tab. And wait a minute, hold up. Whoop, yep, there you go. Besides the fact that it has these contoured scales, which are so comfortable, I'll tell you about here in just a second. It has the lockout feature. And I'm wondering if they're going to call this the CIVIVI COGENT Lockout or the COGENT Lockout. We shall find out. Make sure you put comments in the description because they want to know. Now look at this. You have a T8 right here. You have the original pocket clip. It is a good pocket clip. It works very well. And there's no mushrooms going in the no scrade. There's no screws and popping out. They are flat and the clip is recessed into the scale. And speaking of scales, check this out. Where's the button? Look. You can't see it. The button is absolutely recessed. It does not pop out. It doesn't stick out. Even when the blade's out, it does not come past the scales. It is below the scale. Now look how good this 14C28N black stonewash blade looks. Oh, yeah. Woohoo, yeah, that Nebula and the black stonewash looks so nice. Your numbers real quick, from tip to tip at 7.9 inches, your blade's 3.45 inches, your cutting edge is 3.3 inches, your blade stock is 118 thousandths of an inch and 19 thousandths of an inch behind the edge. This weighs in at a unwhopping 4.08 ounces. So it is not heavy, it is not light, it's right in that sweet spot. I love a 4-ounce knife. Besides the action being absolutely perfect, check this out. There's your black stonewash. See how nice and even that is? There's that side. There's this side. If they come out with these, yours obviously won't say prototype, but these are going to be in 14C28N. And look at this. You have a sharpening choil. Your plunge grind stops and they added your choil. Oh my, they really did think of things on this. The finish is so nice and the fit, it feels like a fixed blade. It is absolutely solid. There is zero movement left or right, up or down, none whatsoever. And the lockup is right around the 25 to 30% mark. It's hard for you to see inside there, but you might be able to tell just a little bit. And it is dead center. A couple quick size comparisons because a lot of people are new to the knife community and have not seen the CIVIVI COGENT. And I know you haven't seen this one because this is so new. Oh my goodness. You know me, I love new. Here is the CIVIVI Button Lock Elementum, and then here's the QSP Penguin. Everybody should have a Penguin, right? And I'm not doing a ton of size comparisons on this one, but one that I thought, another button lock, you know what that is. It's the Cormorant, the KIZER Cormorant. It's a little bigger than the Cormorant. And then here's another button lock, the CJRB Pyrite. So everyone went nuts. A lot of people went nuts and got the Pyrite. So if you have the Pyrite, there you go. It has a bigger blade, bigger handle. It's thicker than all of these, but I do want to see what it looks like next to the CIVIVI Conspirator. Let's see what this looks like. So if you're a Conspirator fan, if you like conspiracies, this thickness wise, the handle is a little thicker, and we're going to check out the ergos here in just a second. And if you watch Beez Blades, you already know the size of my hand, and I'm going to tell you right now, with saving you some of the angst, it is so comfortable. It is very, very comfortable. There are no hot spots whatsoever, and this contouring of this fat carbon feels fantastic. And the jimping, your hand is absolutely locked into place. Whether it's the regular grip or the reverse grip, look how your hand and your finger fits so nicely. I can't stress enough how much, if you want to get back in here to do some push cuts or come out here to do some pull, your hand is locked. They're jimping. I'm telling you what, they have the jimping absolutely locked in. The action on this thing is phenomenal. The button has good lockup. So you can hear that. Now, I get a slight palpable click. It is not a heavy click. It is not lock stick at all. It tells me that it has a good lockup. So here's your action. The push button is so good. The pull is so snappy. I'm trying to nitpick things about this knife. It has good stone wash, and then I love the fact that it has that choil, but you can open it with the button like this. So I'll pay attention. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm ready to take it apart, disassemble it. So you can use the button. The button is easy to use, and I do like it because a lot of folks are like, they ask me, is my hand going to hit the button when it's open? Or might I accidentally open or shut the knife because of the button? No, your hand doesn't touch the button. That's where this comes into play. This is what we all want to see, the new lock feature. You click it up, and then it will not move. It will not budge. It is locked open. And the nice thing about this is your hand is up here, so you don't have to go far or do something or come down here to lock it. It's just up and down, up and down. And I'll show you what it looks like on the inside in here in just a second. So when it's closed, when you click that up, it can't open in your pocket. You can't accidentally? I'm so used to saying absolutely. You can't accidentally open it. It stops. And I'll show you how that works just a second. So go like that, and you can open it with the same finger. It's very easy. Now, besides being able to use the flipper and the button to open and close it, you can, if you're a reverse flicker aficionado, not me, sometimes I'll miss, but the ones like this with the, a little bit of roughness on the scale, on the blade, you can actually get your finger behind there and do a reverse flick. All right, so you know what? Let's go inside and see what this lock looks like. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I'm having a great day, and we're just going to do a quick disassembly. I'm not going to do the rambling on, but I know you guys love the disassemblies. So we're going to get in here and get inside, and I'll show you what it looks like. And CIVIVI, they wanted feedback on it. So I was like, okay, and we'll get feedback from the community also. Now here's the first piece of feedback. Taking it apart, and I have taken this apart one time already. I wanted to see what it looked like on the inside. When I started taking it apart, I noticed that it was coming out over here. So what I experienced is this side where the CIVIVI logo is, it has a little nub. It has a little tab. And you can see that my screw came out on this side. Now, this may or may not be just my version or the one that I got, but what happened is the pivot wants to come out on this side right here. It's because it's probably Loctited, or it just came loose from the other side. So rather than mess with fate, mess with anything, I went ahead and took it apart as is. So you will know that if you go to take yours apart and it doesn't seem to be coming apart like usual, I'll use the quotations, usually the screw will come out on this side, then what you know is it'll pop out over here, and it very easily pops out, and you will see how I take it apart right now, and you'll be able to do it, and you won't be freaking out, wondering if it's broke or wondering if something's wrong. This might be how it was designed, but I can tell you that I'm glad that I disassembled this one before the video because, well, I try not to make these videos too long because people's attention spans are a lot shorter these days. Some folks like the longer videos, but when you make a 15-20 minute video and people watch about 2 minutes of it, so just saying. All right, you see I have all the screws out. Now let's take this out. I'm just lifting up the scale, and in the process of lifting up the scale, right here's your spring. You don't have to worry about your spring taking off of you when you just lift up the scale. The spring stays there where it is. Here's the inside. Here's your pivot. It's nice and clean. I'm just guessing it's either Loctited or really tight on this side, so it released on that side, which is no big deal. But I did want you to know so you won't be worried or get surprised. This is where your spring sets. Now, this is what it looks like on the inside before we take it the rest of the way apart. This is the part everybody wants to see. This is your locking mechanism. I'm going to get the spring and set that over here so I don't lose it. Now, your locking mechanism, this is how it works. It is way more simple than I suspected. If you look at the back, and this is metal, it has a detent ball. That's all there is to it. It is very uniform. It doesn't matter which direction that you put it back, but this detent ball goes back and forth. You can see where it has a mark. I've used it so much in one day. The detent, when it's in its spot right there, it will move up well, it's kind of hard to show, but it will move up and block the button. So that's how much it blocks the button and keeps the button from being depressed. You don't want your button to be depressed, but let's back out and I'll show you. Now on this side, if I can hold it and show you, here's your button and there's the button pushed up. Now you see when the button is released, when it comes down, it's gonna be very difficult for me to demonstrate. Let's take the blade out. Maybe I can show you this way. There we go. Now, there's your button. You can see how it pushes up. Well, when this lock is inside the scale, then here's the second spot. It can't move up because it is being blocked. So you can't open it or you can't close it depending on which way you have the knife. Now, I know a lot of folks have concern about lock failure with button locks, so this is how much extra assurance you have on top of the button lock itself. It covers the rim so it can't move. So surprisingly, it was a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be. Now, this is what it looks like on the inside. Yes, it has some oil. It doesn't need cleaned. It's just looby-doob. Now, I'm going to show you how I reassembled it and kept everything lined up and made it easy on myself. I'm going to put the screw side into the show side just to hold everything in one spot, just to make it easy on myself to put it back together. You put your ceramic bearings facing upwards, the outside facing upwards. I'm putting it back together, and if you're doing this and you're following along, this will help you. And I'm putting this back together exactly how it came. That way you can mimic it, you can double it. Let's see if I can get this lined up and get this in here. Can we get it? I did it the last time. Let's see. I can go like this, turn it around, and now it's lined up like it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to put this ceramic bearing facing in towards the blade, and we've already got it back together pretty much. Now, this, look at this. I'm not forgetting. I'm actually remembering to put the spring back where it goes. Can you believe it? I mean, can you believe it? And by the way, if you're not familiar with Beez Blades live at the Hive every Friday night, definitely come and check us out. Hang out with us. We have so much fun. We'll do knife comparisons. We have the knife cam. We'll check out this knife during the show. Friends, family, everybody comes and hangs out. Now look, see, all I'm doing is setting this down with that little doodad. I'm setting it down right here. I'm going to put it in the unlocked position, and it just sits there. There's nothing actually holding it in place until you put the scales on. Now, this is what I did. Maybe there's an easier way. There's usually an easier way, but I'm just lining it up and putting it on here and getting everything to click back into place. Now, you can see it's clicked back into place. Now, what am I going to do? I'm just going to get a doodad, and if you want links to doodads or the knives in this video, I have links, what do you call them? Discount codes, everything else. I just pushed my pivot out, and now I'm putting it through on this side. Look at that. See how easy? And now it's still back together, and it just made something to hold everything together. Now, this is what keeps your pivot from spinning, is do you see this little nub inside here? Oh, sorry. There we go. See that little nub right there? There's a little nub on the inside of this screw right there that's going to line up with that and keep it from spinning. And you don't even have to worry about it. You can put this in and push it until it locks into place, and you'll feel it. You just turn it around with your thumb and it'll lock into place. And you come over here and start screwing it back in, and it will line up. Let's get this in here, start screwing it. We'll just start screwing it. And let me make sure that it's, there we go. Now see there? Make sure when you screw that in that it's absolutely flush. This part right here, if it's not flush, you don't have it lined up. Get it lined up. Then tighten this down, and now all we do is put a couple more screws in, and we'll see if it's centered. All in all, even though I had to do the whole pivot backwards thing, this is one of the easier button locks to disassemble. Where's my big screw? Because mainly the screw didn't take off on me, or not the screw, the spring didn't take off across the room, and I didn't have to go searching for it. So that tightened up easy, and then we'll put the clip back in, and then we'll see how the action is. I got to tell you, CIVIVI wanted feedback, and my feedback is, you know, I got to say, it's better. I like it better than the last one. The handle is a lot more comfortable. I do like the lockout feature. It's an added extra safety that I like it for using it when it's in my pocket, so I don't have to worry about maybe accidentally deploying it in my pocket. I have done that with a couple knives in the past. We haven't done anything special other than screw the screws back in, and look at that. How's that for centering? We didn't have to fool with it or do anything. Is it tight? Yes, it is rock solid. There is zero movement. So let's go to the big screen for some final thoughts. And we're back. So, final thoughts. The action is great. The fit and the finish are great. It doesn't have button stick. It doesn't have lot stick. It works well, and I can feel that it has a grab. It's not just dropping, and I do like the added feature that I can easily lock it, and it's just a easy lockout feature to use. It's easy to use, and it's nice to know that it's there, and it's not obtrusive. It's not huge. It's not sticking out, but it is right there with your finger the way you hold the knife to begin with. I can't really find any other nitpicks. I was looking for them. They checked all the boxes. They did a really great job, in my opinion. I could actually carry this in my left pocket because I can lock it. So that gives you the whole opportunity to have a knife with a very clean show side and have the clip on the other side, but it's not a safety issue to have it clipped in your other pocket because you can actually lock it. How about that, huh? That's actually pretty darn cool. So there's the CIVIVI COGENT prototype, the Lockout. That's what I'm calling it, the COGENT Lockout. Let me know what y'all think about it. Do you like it? Are you good, bad, and indifferent? Here's the first version, which I really like. But this one, I like this one better. So until I see you again, go watch this video. You're really going to enjoy that. And then I'll talk to you in the chats and in the messages and the live streams and at the Hive stream every Friday night. Remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.